I think, CC, Nick, besides LeBron James, no one has been more consistent throughout the playoffs and in the finals, in a quiet consistency, than Kevin Durant, who, when he saw, not that he needed to, but when everyone else was struggling last night, he really stepped up. 43 points. How impressive was his performance last night? 43
points, Jenna, more importantly, on only 23 shots. Not even going to get into the rebounding, not even going to get into the defense. From the beginning of the game, sometime that he was pressuring LeBron in the backcourt. You know, he knew that that was going to be a challenge, even though they went through multiple switches. But Kevin Durant, this is one of the greatest players in the world. Let's forget some of the other things. It's one of the greatest players in the world. It's a perfect situation for him. He is not a guy that wants necessarily the limelight or wants to be the leader, but he just wants to play basketball. He says it all the time, and that's what he's been able to do at Golden State. He doesn't have to worry about that. Steph, not playing well. Clay, not playing well. Kevin Durant, on the world's biggest stage, Kevin Durant showed why he's the basketball player that he is. Second best in the world. And he doesn't have to play backseat to Steph Curry. He doesn't have to play backseat to Draymond Green. In his role within this organization, it fits his skill set. So not only can he be that good offensively, but his ability to make plays for his other teammates. He's got a high basketball IQ.
Yeah.
The totality of it was just too much for the Cavs. And it's not as if we didn't know this, but now that we've seen it, these are the pictures, and Kevin Durant was a huge part. In yesterday's show, I thought that he was going to be a big part to what they were going to do in game number 3. Proved to be true. I thought he would have a significant performance than Steph Curry, and he led the way.
Yeah.
Jenna, you said in the Great Open that, what a difference 24 hours makes. What a difference 2.5 hours makes. Because in the pregame show, right before tip-off, Jeff Van Gundy referred to Steph Curry as the Warriors' best player. Said this is the type of thing you need from your best player. And that will probably be the last time Steph Curry gets called that, as long as Kevin Durant's on this basketball team. Because Kevin Durant, yesterday, a guy who could stop playing basketball today and be one of the 25 greatest players in the history of this great game, will probably finish in the top 15, maybe higher. Had the greatest game of his career last night. Let's not get it twisted what it was. It was his playoff career high. It was a game where his other MVP, the reason the Warriors are so unfair is because it's KD and Steph. Steph was having one of the worst games of his career.
Yes.
Certainly his worst finals game, and he's had a few rough finals games over his 4-year final run. And KD had an answer every single time, up to and including hitting a shot from further back, but in the same area of the court that he won last year's finals with, winning this year's finals with. The left wing three-pointer. Last year was to turn a 2-point deficit to a 1-point lead. This year was to turn a 3-point lead into an unable to overcome 6-point lead. Listen, we will spend the better part of 3 hours today talking about how brilliant he was. But when you have a player of this caliber who plays the best game of his career, 3 hours sometimes isn't enough.
And there are guys who get out there and they look like they're trying very hard and they're successful. No one makes it look more effortless than Kevin Durant. There are shots he takes and he's just no expression on his face. And CC, I've been fighting you on this the whole season, that Kevin Durant needs to step up. He needs to be a leader. We need to see more from him. Why isn't he? And you kept saying, this is not who the guy is. He just wants to go out and play basketball. And last night he did the thing that you say he is. He performed exactly the way he is. He didn't need the leadership or the limelight or the rah-rah or any of it. Went out and scored an effortless 43 points.
Right. I think the steal shot of Kevin Durant, after he makes the three, he takes like 3 steps. And then you see Draymond Green yapping, and you see Steph Curry yapping. Steph's a front runner. And KD just a steal.
Stoic look.
I mean, man, it was just, I don't know what look it was, but I know, to me, that's going to be the look that I'm going to remember from Kevin Durant. Now, you talked about LeBron being robbed of the iconic moment. Man, I don't know what's going to happen the rest of Kevin Durant's career, but that moment right there, that face, that look that he had among all the chaos with all the pressure and how he steps through.
There it is.
Man, this is what he wants, man. Like, he wanted that moment. He comes to the game. I watch the press conferences. Nick, you and the staff kind of make fun. I watch what guys wear. Man, Kevin Durant wears the same thing almost. I know it's not the same thing, but a gray Nike sweatsuit. Every once in a while, have on a Nike black hat. Man, he's not
looks
here
like
for,
a high school kid going to an AAU tournament. It's a hooping uniform for when you're off the court.
Yeah, I'm here to work.
Exactly.
And when I get done with that uniform, I'm going to put the sweatsuit back on because that's what he's comfortable. That sweatsuit, that's what he's comfortable in, Jenna. He's comfortable playing on a team with a bunch of stars. That's the reason why he left OKC. Now, I'm going to tell you, it's LeBron James' fault. It's LeBron James' fault, the reason why KD's in Golden State. Because a couple years ago, if they don't come back from a 3-1 deficit.
There's the butterfly effect of what losing that title allowed the Warriors to do. The butterfly effect of what the Thunder blowing the 3-1 lead, followed by the Warriors blowing the 3-1 lead, that it needed a perfect set of circumstances. We don't even have to get into the NBA Player Association not letting them smooth the cap and all these other things that allowed this to happen. But what it's allowed to happen is the greatest collection of talent in NBA history. And while it has made finals anticlimactic, while it's made a fact that in these last 2 years, LeBron has averaged 35, 11, and 10 in the finals, and he's now 1-7 in those finals as far as the individual games. The only reason that I can, to be totally honest, stomach any of it, because I enjoy the competition of it, I enjoy the finals to be competitive, is because we got a moment like this. If last night's game was
someone won the game.
Right. If last night's game was this result, but it was because Steph went for 22, and KD went for 24, and Clay went for 26, and it was just we got an iconic NBA moment last night. And how about this? I don't blame the Cavs for what their game plan was. There have been 5 times this year KD scored 40 points, playoffs or regular season. Last night was the first one the Warriors won. Like, the idea of don't let Steph get off, don't let Clay get off. We don't really have a great way to stop Kevin Durant anyway. But what Durant did, I couldn't believe this stat. I think it was Marcus Thompson tweeted it out. All year long, KD never made more than one 30-plus point three-pointer in a game, regular season or postseason. Never had a game where he had more than one of those. Last night, he had 4 of them, including the shot that is the iconic shot we're talking about. He was unguardable last night. It wouldn't have mattered. It didn't matter if LeBron was on him. It didn't matter who was on him. He was unguardable last night. And I poked fun at KD a bit for the quote he gave to Bill Simmons, which is, listen, LeBron spends all his time in the gym working on his body. I work on my game. I want to be able to make shots from everywhere. And we saw some of the downside to that at the end of Game 1 when JR bodies him for the rebound. Before JR, it's like, maybe you should spend more time working on your body. I said that. Well, you saw the flip side to it last night. Not a spot on the court that he can't make a shot from. And we've never seen someone his size be able to do that. The length he's listed is 6'9", dude's 7'1", and with a super long arm. You watch him and you just say, if he's hitting shots, there's nothing you can do. It was the best game of his career last night.
Kevin Durant goes for a playoff career-high 43 points as the Warriors win. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.